And I laugh a lot.
All right, let's move on from
We'll do the Friday.
Oh the Luther Morgan content stacking up. So
Friday we have a big one then.
We're doing Ralph, I guess.
Okay, look, guys. We have Angry Joe. I'm gonna warn you all. If we do Ralph, we're gonna be here till 7 hours of the show. We'll probably be too tired for. You want to do Joe? Chat. What do you want?
Well,
I mean, Angry Joe. It's already an old clip, so it never will age. It's always like timeless. Yeah. The Ralph.
I think they want Ralph.
Let's do the Ralph stuff because it's.
Let's do the Ralph stuff, and then we'll probably do Phil at the end.
Bro,
okay.
So here's Ralph falling out of the chair again.
Yeah, we'll have to.
For those of you who are tuning in late.
All right, let me just restart that. So, because the full screen was.
Oh, you saw that live. You saw that live. So she told me about that.
It's so good. The way the chair goes sideways on him.
Oh, you
and
saw
his
that
back hump. Oh my God.
You saw that live. So she told me about that.
It sounds like everything fell with
Suffer,
him.
Ralph. Suffer, bish.
All right, so we're going to start out here with this. Okay, so
it turns out that Ralph ripped Scarlett's hair out of her head. Now, honestly, this isn't actually proof of anything. And the things that we have documented on camera that Ralph did were worse, like kicking her, hitting her on camera, manhandling her on camera. He spat on her while she was on the floor. Okay. So like, I'm not even like at all shocked. Is anyone?
He could have easily also, I'm going to say this, but I'm sure he did do that. Maybe allegedly.
Of course he did do it.
Yeah. But it's like, this is expected.
Like you could have just like taken a pair of scissors and cut off a lock of your hair. Like it doesn't actually prove anything, but.
So obviously we have the highlights because guys, if we did every tweet and everything that happened, we'd be here for 100 hours.
I mean, we can try. I have like a bunch of other ones that we can go to if we want to go longer because there is a lot here. But Raphael Mania says, Ralph admits yesterday he figured out today that Rekieta cucked him in Vegas. Scarlett snuck away to bang Nick and he still bent the knee today. I think it's official. The Ralph male is dead. So he was kissing the ring of Nick Rekieta, kneeling to him. And now Ralph actually would spurg out once again and start leaking DMs and stuff. But
Well, dude, Joe, I promise at some point, guys, don't worry.
We'll get to Joe Friday. Rekieta, am I really just gonna have to whip your ass for months because you couldn't just stop being a pussy hound for your supposed friend's girl? Imagine crying that Nick Rekieta f***ed your bitch.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is a tough place to be.
On Twitter.
You can share with the class how you plan to fly Scarlett out to Vegas and talk with her about it until I took her away from you. Like both of these guys are just posting their L's.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. You didn't get to f her though. I knew that already. Ralph, you released a whole like video where you were talking about how he f your bitch and you didn't know. And she looked at him with me eyes like, I just threw that in to see if your wife would even care. Obviously she doesn't care. They're open swingers. She was getting fucked by Steel Toe, you idiot.
So this was really funny.
Oh my God.
Ralph had King Sly on, Scarlett on, and Grace Thorpe on. He was being interviewed by Sly, right? But read this here. Raphael Mini goes, Ralph, who said he cut off his nut before ever allowing Scarlett on the show again, tries yet again to use her for content. He starts dunking on Ralph, so he kicked her from the call. Grace then immediately leaves because Ralph is a buck-broken.
Like, what a disaster.
No one wants
this
to
guy
stay
was swearing up and down. I'll never talk to her again. Leave me alone. And then the moment came for content because he has nothing, right? That's why he goes live like once a week at best now. And there's all these hiatuses because he knows he has nothing. And he gets no donations when he goes live on his own. Only Scarlett brings any sort of viewers or money to his show. So he immediately bent the knee to Scarlett, brought her on, And then as soon as Scarlett actually tries to make the show interesting by talking some shit and starting some real drama, Ralph immediately bailed the out, booted her from the show. And then Grace Thorpe was like, this show is too lowly for me. You're too bitch made, Ralph, and just left. When your show is too low in the gutter for the Thorpe family, you really have to reevaluate. Gone awfully wrong. It's over.
It's over. And obviously King Sly was just like capitalizing on this whole Scarlet thing with Ralph.
Yes.
Here's Gabe.
So Gabe Hoffman just dunking on him ruthlessly. Ethan Ralph repeatedly swore on his mother's grave and the lives of his children he would never have Scarlett Hampton on his show again. Just another open demonstration by Ralph to flaunt the fact he does not care about his family, which he doesn't. We all knew that.
Doom pill.
Soon as Scarlett leaves, everyone else leaves too. Ralph's not even the draw on his own show. What a disaster for him. And multiple times this week, Scarlett was getting more viewers on her stream than Ralph would, like doubling his viewership, tripling his viewership sometimes. It was really sad to see. Ralph says, trust no bitch. Except that he trusted her multiple times, even after all this shit happened, bringing her on his show and doing streams with her, especially a blown out you got with her knowing she was on black.com. You try to be diplomatic. His version of diplomacy is telling somebody to put a gun in their mouth and pull the trigger. But it is what it is. There will not be a reunion. There would, in fact, be a reunion. I felt the turn coming again anyways by her actions and the ALOS. Good thing I recorded a lot more. Ralph, buddy, she's completely insane.
And no one cares what she said.
Nobody cares. Nothing she says matters. She's a crackhead.
She claimed on the phone call, we'll see here in a second that I edited, she claims that he snorted his mom's ashes and he doesn't deny it.
What do you mean?
Like
did he really snort his mother's fucking
He didn't. He goes,
ashes?
yeah, well. And I'm like, wait, yeah, well. We'll hear it
What
on
do you
the
mean?
edit.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, well? What the Then look at this, Scarlett saying Jim is a genius.
Well, the word ash, she's just go, Jim is genius.
Oh, sorry, Jim is
Yeah, he sure is. We're to this level of knuckle dragger. Yeah, he is. Yeah. And then, Scarlett is reposting. Yeah, Raphael Mania. Yeah. Ralph getting felted here. Ralph asked his 450 viewers to press 1 if they liked Ralph, or Rekieta for 2. After several minutes, this is how many responses he got. He got 2 responses. And an equal number of people were in favor of Rekieta as were in favor of him.
50-50.
It was 50-50 in his own chat. And so then Ralph fires out to Rekieta. I'll f*** your wife, Rekieta. What do you think about that, bish? She's gunted. I believe it. Why not?
Yeah, we have some clips here. Oh, yeah, we're going to hear about the first time that she met Ethan Ralph. Let me reopen that because.
But the thing is, it's like Ralph said, how does that make you feel? Well, he was probably watching if it did happen. He was probably fired up about it. Like, I don't even, like, these guys are all dirty, greasy that are like sharing each other. Like, it's sad.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Like when I first met him, I was actually like, he's a small guy. Like,
oh, he's small. He's tiny in more ways than one. I mean, his belly's big, but he's short in stature. His penis small.
Do we have that
small.
screenshot of him on the beanbag
He's short.
chair?
Oh, he's such a little guy at the El Stanco, the beanbag chair rally.
I wish I had that on hand.
Oh man, he's only 5'1", bish.
Oh bother. He's a little piglet.
Oh,
he's not. He's actually like a soft pillow.
Oh no, he's a pillow. He's a softy, soft little pillow, Ralphie.
Like,
Suffer Ralph.
He's so
Suffer, man. He's
dumb.
just getting wrecked, bro. Just dunked
That's
on
a
for
terrible
hours.
thing to be called a pillow. A
Oh,
little soft
and this
pillow.
is the thing, right? Ralph needs to desperately like disengage from this and stop responding, but he can't handle this level of disrespect from a woman. And this is something he's never faced before, because with all of the other women in his life, they were so ashamed that they just disappeared from the world completely. But this bitch ain't got no shame, and she ain't heard no bell, bitch. So she's never going to back down. She's never going to leave the internet. She's going to hound Ralph forever. So he can't handle this. There's just a woman out there all day long talking about how small his is, how he's 5'1", and he's just going to lose it. And he's going to do crazier and crazier until he probably ends up in either prison or dead because he can't take it.
I'll be honest. He's a nice person to give a hug to when you first meet him. But then he gets in the car and he's like, right away, he's like, lay out a line. And it's like, what?
Okay, bitch. Okay, bitch. Like it's the first time you ever railed a line. Like, right. She's pearl clutch. Oh my God.
That's the
You wanted
only
to do
base thing
drugs?
Ralph does. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. You know, like, what are we
Desi
doing?
eating for 5 subs. Let's go. I'm gonna be real. If you're hanging out with Ralph, you want to be on drugs. That's the
Well,
only way
yes,
you
it's
can
the only
deal.
way to be around Ralph is drunk and on drugs.
Right?
It's like he's so demanding. It's like I'm driving around like Paris Hilton or something, you know, but like he's like,
womanly.
you know, he became I loved you, bitch. You know, like, you know, my voice is kind of,
By the way, like,
I could try to
imagine
say
spiraling over this crack whore's testimony. You know? Like, it's barely coherent. And then he was like, I love you, bitch. Okay? He's
I
losing his
love
mind
you,
over this
bitch.
woman's testimony. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Ah! Rekieta, help! Respect me as a man, Rekieta! Ah!
yeah, he said, he's like literally like, oh my God. He's literally stuck in the airport in Mexico City. And he's like, I can't find my gate. I can't do this and this. Like, he needs like a
imagine having, yeah, no, that's what it is. He needs a mommy to take care of him. And his mommy's a dirty crack high out of her mind with black cock in her mouth, you know?
I don't want to spoil
save me.
I don't want to spoil too much. She does say that. She goes, that's why he called me Mommy Scarlet, because he needs me to be a mommy figure. And that's why he calls Jim Daddy Jim, because he needs a father.
Oh, it's tough.
It's tough.
It's pretty sad, Ralph. It's pretty
She's
sad,
she's got Ralph on a low volume as she's saying all this.
and to tell him what to do. And like, he literally said that, Mommy Scar, please tell me what to do. You know, like that's what he wanted.
Oh, God.
He wanted a mommy to tell him what to do. He actually, that was one of the best compliments he gave me. Like the only compliment is he said, you remind me a lot of my mother.
Oh, no, you don't want to hear that. You remind me of my mom, bitch. Like, oh my God, the psychosexual dysfunction. We got to have Sigmund Freud has got his work cut out for him, bitch.
A black
This is a
porn
real
star?
case study.
A black
man.
star reminds him of his mom.
He called me Mommy Scarlet before we met, so he might need that sort of. He needs a little bit of. That's why he calls Medicare Daddy Jim, because he needs like a figure in his life that will just yell at him and humiliate him.
You know, crackheads say the darndest things.
Right?
You know, from the mouths of crackheads sometimes comes wisdom. There's a lot of that will come from the mouth of a crackhead,
But
every now and again, through their life experience and just consuming so many stimulants, comes some pearls of wisdom and truth. And we just witnessed one right then and there.
I
given
was like,
to
you
us.
know, I didn't think of that. We never thought about like the father figure and the mom figure.
you know, that's why he always wants girls on top, I guess, when he has, and he didn't know how to have sex any other way, I guess. So, I mean, I tried to teach him, and
she tried, but he was impotent.
That was all right.
This is so embarrassing.
Ralph can't take this, bro. He can't. Honestly, like
Star versus Chrissy. This is good. This is good.
What? She called into Chrissy?
No. She's gonna say something about Chrissy. Watch this.
You know you are. That's so funny. See, Scarlett here was a star, so she was probably molested by her uncle.
Star.
Laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chrissy Mayer. And also, wasn't it comedic when you sent me home with like a schizophrenic, bipolar, unmedicated drunk, where I was held captive for 3 months and jumped out?
Okay, hold on. Chrissy Mayer held Scarlett Hampton captive for 3 months in the jaws of a schizophrenic alcoholic crackhead.
I guess Chrissy sent after that whole. What was that? That like live stream at some like
the content house, right?
So is blaming Chrissy for sending her home with someone who kept her captive for 3 months.
Suffer, Chrissy, you're nothing but a Ghislaine Maxwell human trafficker, bitch. Like, I don't think she had anything to do with any of this, to be honest. But maybe.
No.
Who cares?
I don't know.
A window 16 feet high, and then no one gave
the window
for 3 months and jumped out a window 16 feet high, and then
he jumped out of the balcony 3 floors up.
No one gave a just like you didn't give a
why should they?
Collective. You guys just took over his channel and just pretend he never existed. Because sometimes
Who?
there's 2 reasons why Scarlett's not on Simcast. The first reason is Scarlett gets off topic. Okay, but I can also shut the up. I've learned that. Ethan taught me
No, you can't.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
He begs you to stop.
He said, please, Scarlett, please. And he's like, fuck you, bitch, all the time. He like attacks her and she still won't shut the up. There ain't nobody who can get this bitch to shut up except putting their in her mouth.
Well, that's the
only time. Yeah.
Second reason Scarlett is not on Simcast is she'll be done pretty soon. She's at her I don't want to be there when she's gone. Like, I don't want to be there to see her.
Fair.
Well, let's be honest. Like, the chances of you overdosing are very, very high. Or being killed by one of your clients or some shit like
Very
this.
Dangerous life, yeah.
Yeah, the lifestyle she's living is absolutely. And I wouldn't blame anybody for not wanting to be associated with her. What shocks me is that there are some people that are so desperate that they want to be associated with her. And it's like, why? You know, go to the club. Like, back pages exist. Like, go downtown and pick up a streetwalker. It's the exact same thing. It's just when you pay them, they off and leave you alone. Whereas this bitch will never, ever leave you alone. Ever. Mm-hmm. She's nuts. And she's a public figure, and you're going to get blamed for all the shit that happens to her. So why guys like Rekieta and Ralph are so invested in her and wanting to be with her, I'll just never understand that. Like, why would you want to, like, as a public figure, it just makes no sense. Why would you want to get entrapped by this? When you could just be anonymous, nobody knows who you are, go get all the you want, because you're having to pay this bitch anyway, having to pay for her flights, her drugs, her hotels, her meals, even though Ralph somehow like reverse gold digger simped this bitch, which was jokes. But you know Rekieta would have simped out to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars.
Easy.
What the is wrong with these people, man? Seriously, I just don't get it at all.
DSP Historical Society sure says back pages is gone. Skip the Games is still around, though.
This is what I'm saying. There's always... Listen, buddy. Listen, buddy. That's tough, buddy, if you're actually up to date with what to use, you know? That's tough, bud. That's tough, bud. But somebody's saying Diary Voice says BPD pussy hits different PPP. You don't think these streetwalkers are BPD?
That's crazy.
Me!
Whoa, buddy.
then it was like
TSP Historical Society sure has the updates. Your horror news all day,
the
every
third
day.
one. Actually, there was another one. I don't bring stars on my podcast. I'm a Christian or Catholic lady now. Well, no, what? You keep doing it, and you've done it, and we built your.
Okay, we can move on from this. It doesn't matter. That was all I wanted to show you. Okay, and we got. So yeah, Ralph gives up at a certain point here about returning to America.
Okay. So he says,
his son.
I'm never returning to America. I'm going to talk to Faith and give up the rights to my son. I'm not even coming back to this country. Well, Ralph, I don't know what to say. Like, Mr. Vickers and Faith gave you the option of the paper abortion and you just get the out of their lives. And then because Mr. Medicare and us made fun of you,
trolled him.
You signed on the dotted line to pay the child support of $800 a month. And you regret that now. And you want to give up the rights to your... But mind you, every single time he'll grift off it, I need to fight to see my son. Please give me $5,000. You, man. Like, okay, we got a bunch more here.
Let's just skim, right?
Okay. So Rekieta is saying this is defamation per se. With an admission to knowledge of the falsity, I could sue him for empty Xanax bottles. So Rekieta threatening to sue Ralph for lying, but Ralph doesn't have any money, so it's never going to happen.
This is the chair. Wait, is this what is this?
It's a longer version of the chair. Oh, he's dancing. Do a line.
Look at him. This is so humiliating, dude.
But he's doing this for like $4. You know,
that was.
He's so proud of himself. He felt cute there. Okay.
All right.
Let's continue. So here he is, Modelo mode, Ralph Bish. Look at how many Modelos. He's got a bag of chips there. Do you see that?
Yeah, right there.
Do you see the stealth bag of chips tucked under the beers? He thought we wouldn't see, but he's ballooning up. He's a piggy. So Ralph comes and goes, Rekieta's more drugged out than I ever have been at this very moment. Do you mean Rekieta's higher now at this moment? Or are you like super high right now, but he's even higher? He goes, he's looking for every way possible to cheat his drug test. He's not going to make it. Scarlett, please get with him because we are guaranteed a jail sentence if you do. So Rekieta pleading, or Ralph pleading for Rekieta to fuck his bitch again. So Rekieta here is talking about magic mushrooms that he's buying. This place sells mushrooms that are in illegal limbo. No psilocybin, just Matocin. I don't know what the which is technically legal and they ship to you.
Nick does drugs.
Wow, Nick does drugs and is avoiding his drug test? Wow, stunning revelations, everybody. The thing is, right, you could show Nick Rekieta's parole officer footage of Nick Rekieta, like time-stamped, where he writes out today's date and time and shoots. You could send that to Nick's PO and Nick still wouldn't get a violation, bro. Let alone for these Discord
parole.
messages.
It would remove. It would lower the days of his parole.
They don't give a at all about what Rekieta does. Like he could smoke a joint right in front of the PO and blow smoke in his face, and the PO would thank him. Like that's just the way it is over there. Like Rekieta Zuluminati runs that. And he's never going to jail. He's never getting a violation. Put that out of your mind. So Ralph goes, my sole mission is to see Nick Rekieta in prison now. I don't care about anything else. I mean, until tomorrow when it's another, I'm going to ruin Warski's life or Josh's or whatever the
swept for Rekieta for the entire time.
And he's going to go back to sweeping for Nick Rekieta in a week's time. Like he's Nick Rekieta's bitch because he knows like that's all he has is serving Rekieta at this point. He's that low. So here's Ralph saying he wouldn't mind doing a line.
I wouldn't mind doing a line dance actually. We'll see tomorrow though.
Okay. That was sassy.
We saw that one.
There he is. I fucked your wife. There it is. Okay. So here we have Ralph leaking DMs with Rekieta. Rekieta goes, please no, docs. Ralph, I'm not a woman who will console you while your doesn't get hard and you can't. Oof. I let you pretend to extort me because it was convenient. Just like your mother, I'd rather be dead than deal with you. If we zoom in here, we can probably read this situation. So Ralph says, damn, so that's a more experienced user of cat. I know my coke since I was 13. So Ralph, once again, reiterating this lore that he's been doing coke since he was 13 years old. Rekieta says, I technically have a 1-week ketamine script. It costs $300 a month, which adds up. He was spending a good amount when he got popped. Daily coke for 3 people. His refill run was $2,000 of coke. That's US dollars. So like over $3,000 Canadian, which was an ounce and a half and 6 8 balls?
Yeah.
Each of Molly and Ket, which ran $350 or so, would give my dealer $2,500. We never ran out.
Was that for
then
a month or a day or every 3 days?
I actually don't know how long it would be. Probably like a couple weeks. Like
$2,000 coke with 3 people all day, every day? No. I'm telling you, that's not it. That's not even a week. If you're doing it all day, every day, like for 3 people, $2,000 every 3 days, I think is what he meant. That's fucking
oh my God.
Crazy. How he's alive still or not like medically like in trouble is insane. That's the
yeah,
image.
See, there it is. Clear image. Breaking Baldo news. Ethan Ralph has leaked Discord messages with Rekieta. There's 24 screenshots in all. First and foremost, Nick wanted to blame Aaron or the nanny for the cocaine. She says there was another CPS call during the raid, went right to it. They found the safe within 2 minutes. It would have been a fun fight if there wasn't prison riding on it. I could have blamed Aaron or the former nanny of owning the safe. So just totally willing to throw an innocent person like the nanny who never had anything to do with the drugs or the polycule under the bus and frame her for his crimes, which is it's one thing to throw Aaron under the bus, but to float throwing the nanny under the bus is dirty snitch.
He's a fucking
okay. So then Scarlett, so they're all gossiping about us, and seething about us secretly, which of course we all know they do, all day, every day. But then Scarlett's talking about Venti. She got a triangle and a bitch. She with Casino. She doesn't like Venti either by Jew standards. And then Rekieta says he donates big casino money, and he's talking about Gabe Hoffman.
He doesn't.
Yeah. So he says, I said tonight on my show, he may have up, but I don't care if PPP and Worski die in their trailer.
Like our show's not doing well. Like,
I don't know. Like, I guess he thinks that all Canadians, because of Trailer Park Boys, live in trailers, but it's not really that common here. But like, sure, we live in trailers.
We live in trailers.
Absolutely.
Igloos,
we live in trailers, igloos, whatever, So Gabe has an obsession with Ralph. And then Rekieta says, I just know Andy made up a fake sexual assault story about Kayla from Knoxville.
People were there. I was sitting down at the bar and she like touched my shoulder and rubbed my chest is what I said.
And was trying to
I
sexual assault
didn't
story.
say it was sexual assault. I said she was flirting with me.
I saw Rekieta then said something like Kayla walked you home.
I don't remember
something
that.
Like this.
I don't remember that.
And like you've never told me that or told anyone that.
I said I was
and
sitting
so
at the
that
bar.
To me, if that is a real screenshot where Rekieta is saying that Kayla walked you home, like it's a lot more credibility to it than anybody's ever given it before. So like, and then it's like that to me implies that you her if she walked you home. But I think what it is that Rekieta's rattled that you didn't her. That's what I think it comes down to.
100% did not do anything with his wife, ever.
I think he was turned on by the idea that you would f his wife, and he's upset that you wouldn't f his wife. That's what I think it's about.
Yeah.
I think if you had claimed to have f his wife, he wouldn't even be upset. I think it's the idea that you turned down his wife's advances that makes him upset, is what I think.
Bro, but by the way, it's like if it did happen when this story dropped, wouldn't I use it as like a, I fucked your wife, I cocked you? Like, wouldn't I be using it to make fun of him? No.
Yeah.
I mean, like I would do that, obviously, but nothing happened. I never said that, so whatever.
Okay, so we got more here. Rekieta talking about how he prefers ketamine, and then stimulants are right behind. Imagine your favorite drug being ketamine. Like,
That's crazy. I tried that
Holy
once or
fuck,
twice
man.
in the past. It was, I felt sick. I felt disgusting.
then he says the
Weed.
problem with coke is it just makes him want to constantly, and he gets tired. Psychedelic hallucinogens are my favorite. I don't think he takes psychedelic drugs, honestly.
I think he does.
Very often. He probably does, but like he said ketamine's his favorite. Anyway, and he says he has weed and he technically can't have mood altering substances, whatever that means. Oh, we know what it means. Like, what are we doing here? It's so childish.
Buddy.
Then he says when he's off probation, he can get some in transcendent doses of mushrooms.
I'm so glad I'm not a druggie anymore.
Oh my
This is
God.
nightmare. This is, don't do drugs.
Is
kid.
K a hallucinogen? Listen, I would just never take fucking ketamine. Like, I just don't know. It's just not.
K feels like being really drunk immediately and on a different planet. That's the best way I could put it. You feel like you're on a different planet. You're like, oh, it's like that. There we go.
So okay, immediately says Al with the April comes in, checks in on me, then does her line. It's his mugshot black eye. So he snorted a line, and then a few minutes later he hit his face on the bathroom counter. Okay.
That's crazy.
Right.
You know what's funny? Someone just said here, Andy is sitting here seeing what could have been. Yeah. Well, it was for like 2 years. It was like, let's do fucking coke. Let's party. Look at this.
Here he is dunking on Ralph. So Ralph actually like DM'd Rekieta and demanded that Rekieta have respect for him as a man. Why does it matter if Nick Rekieta has respect for you or not? So I'm actually just gonna, normally I wouldn't allow of Rekieta's magnitude any sort of dunk, but here he is just dunking on Ralph for being a loser.
That's another funny situation, and we may
He's
talk
clearly
about.
on
We may
drugs
not.
right there.
Allegedly, but
I just
not allegedly
won't
either.
talk about.
Look at
We
this.
may not.
Wait. Look at his bedhead.
He looks terrible
I
there, does
just
he
want
not?
you to respect me as a man. Can
the
you imagine
G-Fuel?
texting someone? I want you to respect me as a man.
That is gay. I'll give.
No,
I'll give
it really is.
Rekieta, I'll give Rekieta this. That is
What-
really gay.
What are you even supposed to say to that?
But it's like, why would you,
You know-
respect Ralph? Of all people?
Of all people, you know?
Like,
But why do you need somebody's respect of you as a man? Like, to validate yourself, you feel insecure because you don't have the approval of Nick Rekieta, whose kids were stinking and starving, and his 9-year-old daughter tested positive for cocaine, and he was busted on all of these drugs as a cuckold.
But
Why
is
would you
there to
desire, like-
respect? What is there to respect is the question. What? Like, you live in Mexico, your show sucks, you're just like cocked by your star ex who's felting you.
The only thing to respect about Ralph is
He's
I
alive.
haven't heard no bell, bitch. I'm still alive. I'm still on the internet, and I'm willing to holler. Like, that's it, right? That's what it comes down to, is that Ralph is able to just absorb massive amounts of punishment and continue and like survive like disgusting, lowly, environments in life. That's the only respectable thing. But it's like, that's it.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, like the
He's a
fact that
cockroach. It's like Phil.
I will say this. If I were in Ralph's situation, I don't know if I wouldn't have OD'd already on purpose. Like, I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
I'd be like,
I think
okay.
he tries to and fails. Which, because I think
God
God
damn.
doesn't want him to go yet. He's here to suffer some more.
It's hilarious. Number 3 on front page. Thanks, Kick. I love you guys.
The
Thanks,
internet's
Kick.
fucking weird, guys.
Thanks.
It's broken. Do you know, like, I've probably just provoked like 4 hours of squealing and raging around a little pigsty.
Oh, Rekieta. So we were right the whole time about Ralph? Huh.
Just by saying that.
I love how they are all friends to spite us. And then they all backstab each other anyway. It's like, it's just a matter of time.
Goes. Well, because it's like, they're all just a bunch of dirty snakes in a snake pit, right?
Exactly.
Like,
it's like, okay. Because you hate us doesn't mean we're wrong.
Started because I said someone might have low testosterone. Turns out they do. They proved it straight out the gate.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy we don't.
Oh my
happy
God.
we don't watch Rekieta anymore. I'm so
you know what I
happy.
mean? Like, I have no interest in really anything to do with Rekieta.
Yeah.
Nor does anyone, you know? So we got more here. So that's a picture of Ralph with his son that he sent to Nick Rekieta, which he's not allowed to do under the terms of his visitation agreement. So
the AI
into a Xanax bottle, which he loves a lot more than his son and definitely sees a lot more frequently than his son. He goes, I'll show you this thus, but obviously keep private. I'm only supposed to show friends and family. This little guy have been cheering me up some. Okay. So, you know, he's sharing pictures of his children with Nick Rekieta.
There we go. Mr. Mediker. And by the way,
and now like Rekieta is getting in on this.
Was really good. I was laughing hard. The way he was like, Jim's back. Like, let's go. Apparently he's doing a show on Saturday also. So check that out.
Yes. All right. So now we're going to get into some of these phone calls.
Ralph versus
I love you, Bish.
Now, obviously, it's just audio. So what I'm going to do here real quick, let me just make a new scene. Since it's just this, I'm going to shrink this and put us bigger on top.
Bigger?
Because, like, it's just that, right? All right. We're going to be a little bit bigger here. Make sure that we're even for OCD purposes. Okay. Folks, here we go. It's the Ralph and Scar. This was a 6.5 hour cut that was, thank God, edited by someone on TV Farms.
So they actually talked to each other for 6.5 hours.
On and off, because hanging up, recall, 6.5 hours.
But I thought that he was never going to talk to her again. Like,
yeah, well, then it was edited down to 2 hours and 50 minutes that I edited it down to 38 minutes. But here we go.
What are the options right now? What are the options right now?
The options are major thread goes up about your whichever.
Okay, so Ralph is threatening Scarlet with posting a thread on some garbage ass like Kiwi Farms clone that he has that has like all of 12 registered users. And no one's going to see it.
But everyone will get doxxed eventually. Like to go on
if you just Google her name, you can see her drinking piss. And eating shit. So I don't think she's that worried about getting a thread on whatever forum that you've created that's going to last less than 6 months. Might not even last 6 weeks, bro. Like,
so on a test, like I'm not scared of going to jail. Man. I've been to jail. Like
you are scared though to go to jail, you bitch. Otherwise, you would still be in America beating this bitch's ass and doing drugs. But as soon as the heat score came down in Wisconsin, you wee all the way home to Merida. So you are scared, bitch.
And I would say,
the fuck up.
By part 3 of this, fucking Scarlet destroys Ralph. Like, she decimates him. Like, it's not even close. Like, did Ralph win? Did he? No. Like, this is crazy.
The thing is, jail is better than what Ralph has going on right now.
Yeah.
If he went back to American jail, right, he would at least be able to socialize with the other inmates that speak his language. He would get 3 square meals a day. He would have the opportunity to exercise and get in better shape. His whole life would be regimented. His drug use and alcohol addiction would be staved off somewhat or limited. It would actually fix his life, like going in there the first time fixed his life. It would, but he's scared of it. That's why he won't go back.
I have nothing to put me in jail over anyway.
I've never had a man arrested, and I never laid hands on a man. And I put my hands behind my back and purposely did that.
That's not true. But, okay.
That's not true.
You laid hands on me. You laid hands on me.
You mean like...
So Ralph is copping to get beat up by a girl.
She laughs. She's like,
it's like, Ralph, you know we're not in like a courtroom, right? Like, this isn't helpful to you to admit that Scarlett beat your ass and you were a little bitch. Got beat up by Scar. But guaranteed, these 2 white trash drug addict degenerates were beating the out of each other every chance they got. And the thing is, it's not really that uncommon. This happens in every trailer park and government housing complex, Section 8, in America, in Canada, all the time. These low-level, low-impulse control criminal pieces of garbage do this constantly. They love it. They're like addicted to the abuse and the cycle of abuse. And it's like, we all have to witness this apparently.
I don't do hand jobs, honey. Sorry.
You laid hands on me. You tried to physically restrain me. And
really? Oh my goodness. I'm just a little girl. Like, oh my.
Yes.
Brad.
Rekieta's wife.
You Rekieta's wife?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't believe.
She just laughed. Though she laughs.
I mean, she just laughed. The thing is, nobody actually believes him, but the thing is, it doesn't matter either way. It really, none of this matters.
You got Rekieta. Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
So were you swinging?
It was not swinging. He wasn't around. So, you know. Whatever. It doesn't
what
matter.
a lie. We know he would have watched from the corner.
The way Ralph
like,
said that was kind of like, he wasn't around.
This
I
is a culp. It didn't happen. Sadly, I wish it happened, but it didn't.
Hey, no.
You know?
But well, guess how much, how many times I made you jerk off to my porn?
What?
What?
What? That's cocked, buddy. He's jacking off to the BBC corn or whatever that this bitch is telling him to jack off to. Cuckold alert! Cuckold alert! Whoa, buddy. No, Ralph. That's greasy, buddy.
Because he wasn't hard enough to stay hard during, so he has to beat off to her after.
What?
I don't know. I think that's what happened.
Probably 6 million views on that.
Who made? Say what?
So you purposely tried to get me to get a restraining order.
It's never gonna stop
on Gabe Hoffman.
Unless you stop.
Remember that?
So
what, a restraining order on Gabe Hoffman? Like what?
That episode.
You know, you want to work with Gabe Hoffman?
No, I'm not working. I'm not.
I don't know why these
so
people are so obsessed with Gabe Hoffman.
Please stop now.
Well, why don't we start with the Oak Creek police officer phone call?
I don't give a fuck about Oak Creek.
About your charges there and the charges you haven't paid in Wisconsin.
Well, you mean simple assault? That's not even a misdemeanor. It's a citation. Who gives a f? See, you're talking to a criminal. I don't give a shit about a citation.
You're talking to a criminal. Okay. Whoa, Ralph, big dub, bro. You're a convicted felon and just a total criminal piece. I don't even care about them charges. Mama just get caught. What do you think about that, bitch?
That's what. I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
Yeah, you're disgusting. You think I give a
about a citation? Who are you talking to? Like, seriously.
Well, where's my pants? You seem to steal my pants.
Ash, get ready. Listen to
He
this.
stole her pants?
No. Hear this.
That's when you came and visit.
No.
Did they fit around your lard waist?
Because you can't control your.
What?
Wait a minute. So he stole her pants?
She died.
So she shot her pants, and so Ralph stole the pants that she pooped so he could sniff it and savor the flavor for later.
That's disgusting.
What the So he really does eat poo.
No, dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, because neither of them deny either's claim. You took my pants. Well, you have a loose. No, I didn't take your pants, or I didn't myself. Like, there's none of that. It's like
he did that off that.
I'm actually fucking.
I know he did. He sniffed that and that right off, and he ate the poo from her pants. Like, he's eating like days and weeks old, like encrusted diarrhea from some bitch's pants.
Okay,
that's twisted.
You chat. That just said snack.
No,
It's actually vile, dude.
I'm capable of keeping like laundry clean.
So instead of saying I didn't myself, she goes, I can keep my laundry clean.
Well,
it's like
she has copped to herself many times in the past. Like, it is a matter of public record that she's fecally incontinent and will herself or during. Like, there's one clip I haven't I have a bunch of these clips that I didn't even bother to go into, where she like talks about how like when she goes running, sometimes she'll shit herself, and many times when she's getting backdoor anal, she'll all over the guys and stuff like this. Like,
don't worry, guys, we're almost done the section. It gets. By the way, this is nothing. Part 3 is when I texted you, Ash, and I went, okay, this is Kino.
Yeah, I'm never leaving Mexico. That's right. I did tell you, I'm never leaving Mexico. I did tell you that. Come down here and get me, bitch. That's what
you also said you were going to give up.
Here and good luck.
I love how, by the way, he does say bish now, like, instead of bitch. He's like,
yes.
Come down, get your bitch.
Good luck. And good luck. Yeah.
Good luck to find me. It's like you doxed yourself. Like,
we all know where you're at.
Like, what do you mean? Good
big
luck.
Dog. Okay.
Good luck, because they don't give a shit about you. So, good luck coming down here to get me. So,
well, I don't think you speak Spanish, so I don't think they really understand you. You're just a yelling rage piggy in the middle of a bar. You're just a raging piggy in the middle of a bar.
Is that right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, how's he getting felted by this bitch? Like, she barely has any brain cells to rub together, man. Like, this is grim for Ralph, dude. He's fallen so far, bro. So far.
Did they change the back end, like, while we were live?
Yeah, they did.
I was like, is the stream on still? That was crazy. All right.
Oh, we piggy go.
Bitch,
go pig go.
It'll be a bad scene.
A bad. If you ride on Scarlet Hampton, it's a bad. I actually was able to get your limp dick a little bit harder.
That's fucking brutal. That's actually so brutal,
man. I can have 1,000 dicks I probably sucked in my life already.
Does it really?
So what is the difference? I can't remember what yours looks like.
I can't remember what yours looks like.
Oh, it's over, bro.
He's down, Joe. He's down.
Oh, he's hurt. Oh, it's over. Oh.
It's Joe just.
That's actually the honest opinion. I really can't remember.
Thank you.
You're nothing.
I hope you outlive me, so that way, I actually hope that, hey, can I propose something? Every dollar you made on that tape, why don't you give that to both your children?
So what? $1? What do you mean, Scar? Like every dollar?
Any money
the $7.50? to raise
Dale
the money.
Gribble donated. Like, okay, like it's 1 month of the child support to Xander. It's all
Get
gone.
him, Scar.
I have
Get
50%
him, Scar.
control over that. You gave that, you split that sex tape. You made over $5,000 on a sex tape you're never going to release. And if you release it, it's illegal. It's revenge porn number 2. So all I got to say to you is you give that to your children. You have 2 children.
Give it to your children.
You selfish hog.
He's a selfish hog.
Yes, Scar. Yes, it's tough to give her a W, but she is. He finally met his match in a woman form. Finally.
Hey, you should be grateful instead of going wee all the time. You should be grateful where you are. You should sit down and see and rot and eat and stuff your greedy face. I will not stop, little piggy pig. No. Okay, keep going. You can't really faze me no more. You don't know what I've been through.
It's a fatality.
I'm not from Memphis. I'm from a tiny farm town in Wisconsin.
I do actually.
And I own a Saab. At least I have a car.
Yeah, who cares?
Keep hopping around on your wing.
Joe! He's hurt! He's rocked! Oh, his legs are gone! Oh, he doesn't even have a car! He has no car! He's carless! It's over! Oh my god!
I won't stop. I don't know when
he died. Like I literally.
Well, it won't change you having no car.
You're such a greedy. You wear a lard belt around your waist, and it's gonna sit there, and then you haul it around, and you run, piggy, run. No, but
he's so demoralized and defeated, Andy. Like he can barely muster anything.
I don't know how that's a flex or a win. I'm a star. Do you know how many in my?
Buddy, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's still tight. It's still tight. You could barely get hard enough to get in my tight. You could barely get hard enough. Yeah.
Bro.
It's not true, actually.
Well, you do
Why
so
does
much.
he think this is a
and
good
then you
idea?
lie. You mix drugs, and
You both do.
Just stay tuned.
You project.
I got 40 pesos. I don't.
no, you're a broke bitch. And I'm
He
hanging up on
has
you.
40 pesos? Only 40 pesos left?
What is that,
Well,
like
I
a
have
dollar?
40 pesos. I don't even think that's $1. I think that's like 10 cents. Like, what is that?
He complains about everything. God darn it. I don't even know what that conversation was supposed to be about.
It's $2.
He just wanted to talk to me.
32
So, he's calling me back. Oh, it's a video this time. Oh, God.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going on video. Sorry, sweetheart. I don't think that you can jerk off the black.com all day.
This is crazy.
Oh, he jerks off the
You'll never be-
black.com.
You'll never be what I've been.
What?
Why would you
What?
want to be?
I'll tell you that.
What have you been? Like a
instead
rotting
of-
piece of fucking